Hi, I'm Richard Martin, a missionary to Dominican Republic, and I purify water through a process that is a three filtration process, and we use ozone or ultraviolet light to kill the bacteria. I felt impressed a year ago to come down to Dominican, to the city of Arbacoa in the mountain region in the center of the country to check on some systems my church had installed over the last 10 years. Our missionary, the only person that I knew here, was moving to Costa Rica. So I really felt the need to come down and be here. And it was amazing the doors that God opened. The reason that water purification is so important is that the running water to our houses and apartments here is pumped directly out of the river with no filtration and no water treatment. And it's just full of bacteria. I take a shower in it every day, and I use antibacterial soap, but that's really not enough because after a while your skin begins to itch, and it's just not healthy. Also, some people are so poor, the majority of people are so poor that they drink the water and cook with the water from running from the tap. And it's just full of bacteria. Infant mortality is high. Elderly people, anyone that's immune compromised, they're at risk of dying severe intestinal disease. So it's very important for this project because people are poor, and we want to provide clean, safe drinking water and share the gospel at the same time. I believe all God's children deserve clean water. One of the reasons that it's so important is intestinal disease, of course, and infant mortality is high. It affects the elderly, immune compromised. Matter of fact, we installed a water system this past February, actually, at the fire station downtown in the city of about 40,000 people. And just so happens that I don't believe in coincidence, but there's a children's hospital right across the street from the fire department. They see over 1,000 sick children a day. And the director said that the number one problem they see is respiratory disease. The second largest problem they see is intestinal disease in the children because of drinking bad bacteria water that is pumped directly to the houses. Some of the people are so poor they can't afford to buy drinking water. So that's my goal, is to provide people with clean, safe drinking water at no charge. This is how we share the love of Jesus in the water distribution and purification business. We use this book, which is called named Aqua Viva, Living Waters, and it's an exposition on the Gospel of John, explaining the plan of salvation and explaining the Gospel of John in Spanish. Also, we give them a Spanish New Testament, which I'm out of right now, and I need some shipped from the Gideons from the United States, so I'm working on that. But this is not just a humanitarian effort, like you see advertised on television. This is a Christian effort of providing people with living waters. Jesus met people's physical needs and spiritual needs, and that's one of my goals. Last February, we installed a water purification system here at the fire department in the city of Arbacoa. And after that, another fire department from a city of San Francisco, about 2.5 hours away, came to visit to see our water system. And so they did, and they were very impressed, and they asked us to come visit them. So we did. Colonel Ramirez and Pedro and I went, and it's a village of about 8,000 people called Agua Santa de Una, and there's water all around the city. The Una River is right there, and they have rice paddies with canals, and the village only has running water 2 days a week. And it is very poor, very poor. I was just overwhelmed with the poverty. And they said, can you please put one of these in so we can have running water at no charge? Our people are so poor, and many are sick. And so we said, certainly we can. And of course, we promised them we would, and that we would do that this coming February if possible. And we told them that we would have to go back. I would have to go back to the United States and raise money for this. Also, we have a school that we've had on schedule, and we had planned on installing a system there this October. And there again, all it takes is money. So I promised them that I would ask my friends in the United States to help us with this project. It takes about $5,000 per system. By the time, and that's including airfare for my team to come. The system itself is about $3,000 to $3,500. But by the time you travel and other expenses, we're talking about $5,000 or $6,000 per system. So we have those two. Those two are the ones that we promised. I have 4 or 5 other places like schools, a hospital, nursing home, other places down the road. So there's plenty of work here, and I haven't solicited any work. I mean, God has just opened the door for this, and it's just been overwhelming. If one of the churches or some of the churches would like to adopt a project, I also have one lined up that I didn't mention. It's an orphanage here with about 40 children, and my heart just goes out. Someone donated some money for them to drill a well, and guess what? The well water is contaminated. Even if you drill a well in the Dominican Republic, you still have to purify it. It's just a bad situation. We don't understand this in the United States. We just drill a well in the ground and we have pure water 90% of the time. But here it's different. So if you would like to sponsor a location or talk to your pastor in church about sponsoring a location, you could sponsor an orphanage, a fire department, a grammar school. There are just many locations that we need help with. Giving money is not the only way to help. If you have skills, plumbing, electrical, or you're just good with your hands, you're like me, a jack of all trades, you can come down here and work beside me and some other team members and help us install these systems. I'll be glad to have you, and make sure you have nice accommodations and show you the area and what God's doing in Dominican Republic. Thank you for listening today. I enjoyed sharing with you what God's doing here, and I ask for your prayers. I covet your prayers, please, for me and for the people here. It's a large spiritual battle going on here, especially with the virus. So many people can't work now. They live day to day. They're suffering. They don't have food, and they can't buy food. We're still under curfew, quarantine here. But I'm going to ask you if you would like to partner with me to help in the mission here, in the ministry. The information is on the screen. Thank you so much.